Are you rolling?
Okay, bro. In the last couple of months, we've taken pretty different paths of 9 to 5, locked-in salary versus continuing the freelancing game.
Yeah.
When did you start? Like, when did you get into a job, and what are a couple things that made you excited and want to get into what you did now with the 9 to 5?
So the reason I went 9 to 5, honestly, I didn't give it a second thought regarding hours. I just thought this would be a great opportunity to learn and to earn. So yeah, they offered me a really competitive salary package for guys our age. So the salary package that I got was a little bit of a pay cut from the freelance work I was doing. Considering I was in varsity when I was doing my freelance, I think that it would have been smart to actually continue with the freelancing gigs.
In hindsight.
But I also knew I needed to get a little bit of corporate experience for what I wanted to build in the future. So I've sort of aligned myself, and over the past 3 years, I've aligned myself to build something bigger than just me.
Yeah.
And
that's your overarching goal, I guess. Longer term, like 5-10 year terms. It's not just going to be you.
Yeah, so that's the thing, is agencies are really appealing idea, but it felt like everyone was doing an agency at the time, or at least everyone was wanting to start an agency. Everyone was wanting to start an agency around us, but I'm not seeing content from those agencies. Whereas where I'm working now at a high quality animation studio, we specialize in VFX and animations for companies like Samsung, Toyota, Heineken. It's the top brands in the world. That's what we do. And it was a synergy between taking this job. For me, seemed like a synergy between the creative outlet that I enjoyed about my freelancing, as well as the opportunity to learn and grow in a bigger, more corporate environment. I don't think that corporate is the best way to go, but I think that you need to have an understanding of how the world operates, and that's a stance I've always had with it. Whatever I'm doing, I want to understand the gears on how it works.
For sure. The freelancing game is an interesting one, and I feel like a lot of people are nervous to step into it, but once they do, they never regret it. I think the key to maybe jumping into the freelancing game is to make sure you have that safety net, the 3-4 month salary locked away, emergency funds that you can always fall back on, because you're not going to have work straight away. Like, the reality is you will take 3-4, sometimes even 5 months before you in with enough of a client base that you are confident that you're going to get work every month.
So I think, just interjecting, I think going into the freelance game, people shouldn't be scared necessarily financially.
I agree.
Look, I'm going to sound like a hippie here, but it's all about energy, right? Sure. What you bring to the table. And, look at who you surround yourself with. If you're able to foster a good family connection or a good friend group, if family's not going to work for you, they will allow you to have that support network to back you up if it doesn't work out.
I was going to say, leaning on that, bro, like having a friend group or network that are in the same industry as you in the freelance game has been so crucial for me as a creative and as a creator. People like you, people like, all of the other creators in Cape Town, and we're lucky in Cape Town, we have so many of them. I know, and I've had it in the past, I've had other creators say, like, listen guys, this month isn't going so well, I'm actually struggling a little bit. If you have any extra work, please send it my way, kind of thing. And every single time that's happened, people have done it, and people have helped each other, and it's been so good to see that, because, without that, I think it would make things a lot more stressful and a lot less interesting perhaps as well.
I think that personally I've got too big of an ego to reach out for help if I'm struggling. Like, I fully understand.
I'd struggle to. I think I hope that I wouldn't have the ego that I would do it.
For me, when I've been struggling, I have put it aside and just bust bait, held up through that tough time and pushed through. Purely because how I've branded myself is, resilient and tough and successful. And in a way, it feels like admitting defeat.
It
reaching
does.
out.
I'm in the same boat as you 100%. And I feel like you and I are lucky in that we would probably fall back on family before friends. But people that don't have family to fall back on as a safety net would go first to friends. And that's when it's important.
Yeah. Looking locally, it's a big thing for youngsters, especially in developing countries like here in South Africa.
Yeah.
We're an entrepreneurship economy, you know.
For sure.
People are forced into creating a business, and it doesn't have to be content. It doesn't have to be like a big web design agency that everyone online pushes.
Yeah.
You know, opening something small and building something for yourself is a big thing. You know, jumping back to also that 9 to 5 you were asking about, where I'm working now is an opportunity to grow and buy into the company over time. So it's really, for me, it's going that route, figuring it out. It's my first 9 to 5. Everything before now I've freelanced or done contract work. I haven't had a more long-term position in a single company.
Yeah.
So that's...
If you stepped away from this job tomorrow, what would your first steps be in getting back into the freelancing game?
If I was to start from zero again, I would do exactly what you see on social media or the guru saying. Give it 3 months of hard push. Learn a skill set.
Yeah.
Whether it be, you know, copywriting, UI design, content creation. There's a need for all of that in the world. So if you can learn enough to be able to produce a product, you'd be surprised. You don't have to start off being the best guy in the room.
Of course.
You know,
As long as you can provide value at a good price point as well.
Yes, there's a need for everyone at every price point.
Yeah.
You know, if you go abroad, you're looking at guys charging 4 times what we charge here.
Of course.
Cut that out. Cut.
No, don't. Because it shows that we're valuable as well compared to the overseas guys. You know?
No, for sure. What do you think the most valuable thing you can do out of high school is in 2025? Coming fresh out the bat, no expectations, no particular skill set, just wanting to come into the world and make a little space for yourself in whatever you're interested in.
For sure. I mean, obviously, as you said, it depends what you're interested in. But in my opinion, the most valuable thing you can do in 2025, coming out of high school fresh, would be teaching yourself a high value skill. Not university, not college. Courses are a question, perhaps. But I still believe firmly that the most valuable thing you can do is teach yourself a high value skill or a high paying skill. Like video editing, content creation, videography, UI, UX design, whatever it may be. You know, even things like sales, marketing, online ads. Doing that will open so many doors for you, for me, for, you know, like as it has done for me as well. And I think teach yourself a skill, put hours and hours of practice into it, and you can learn anything nowadays for free. You know, YouTube is the most powerful platform in the world for learning things, I think. Anything. Punch it into YouTube and there's lessons out there to learn off.
So I think also adding to that,
Yeah.
we've spent a lot of time together shooting with high net worth individuals who are below the age of 22.
Yeah.
You know, coming to
Sometimes
Cape.
even 20.
One was even 17. You'll find him online if you search 17-year-old entrepreneur. And it's the same with all of them. Cutting space for themselves. If you want to make something of yourself, high value skills, looking for opportunity, you know. If you put yourself in the position where you're forced to discover and think laterally about how to approach problems and business, if you're able to teach yourself a high value skill and learn how to identify problems, fixing them is where you're going to make the money.
Absolutely. I mean, that's business in its gist, you know, it's problem solving.
Yeah.
Finding a problem and finding a solution and providing a solution to that problem is how you're going to make money. And for me, the businesses that do the best are the ones that help the client make more money. You know, it's not necessarily selling a product that's not going to make you more money, but a service where they pay you to help themselves make more are often the most successful businesses.
I mean, you're busy looking at someone who is doing what he preaches. You know, you came out of high school fresh, you went and you somehow worked your way onto a Netflix documentary set in Okavango, bro.
That was a lucky email, bro. Very lucky email.
talk about that outreach into what you're interested in. When I was in high school, I was doing outreach all the time.
I very clearly remember sitting in matric in school, in class, in the back of the classroom. We had a free period before final exams, and I was sitting there DMing businesses in Cape Town saying, I want to come and work for you for free. I want to make video content for you. Let me come and intern and job shadow. And Dirty Habits was the first one that responded. I mean,
This one that responded to me as well. Dirty Habits.
Shout out. Bro, how funny is this? On a side note, I got a message the other day saying Nick Jacobson, professional kite surfers in Cape Town, they're looking for someone to come shoot for him. Am I available? Unfortunately, I'm just got a packed schedule the next couple of weeks, and so I said, sorry man, I can't. The next day I open Instagram and there's like Nick Jacobson with some other videographer that they obviously found as a replacement, but he thought that I was him and he tagged me in the story. so it was some rando, and I got tagged in the story by Nick Jacobson with like 100,000 followers. I'm like, sharp, thanks bro, free marketing, this is great. But yeah, I replied saying, bro, I think you're a bit confused, man. How long was the flight? And he deleted it quite quickly and said, oops, sorry. But yeah, no, that was good. That was good fun.
Yeah, so I went and I studied, I went and did the classic route. I got a degree in interaction design, so that's UX UI, wanting to go and do software. And I think that might come back pretty soon, you'd be surprised.
And even if it's not full-time, I feel like you will definitely weave that into whatever you do one day.
It's come in invaluably, because to partner it with my content creation, I am able to offer a full suite.
Yeah.
I can go build your website, design.
I can't. Sorry.
I can build it, I can design it, and I can shoot the content for it.
You can do all three, and as soon as you learn sales and marketing.
Oh, shit, when I learn it.
When I learn sales.
When I learn. No,
If I can truly master sales and marketing now, on top of the content creation that I do, I know that the value that I'll be able to provide to my clients will be just on another level. Because currently I'm confident in my content creation, obviously, and video and photography and that kind of stuff. And I'm also confident that I provide a good level of sales and marketing knowledge and can bring that to the table too. But if I can master it, same as content creation, which I have not yet mastered, obviously. If I can master both. Whew.
It's cold.
You want to wrap this, dude? It's fucking cold.
And we wrapped.
And wrap.